chicken noodle soup with our fresh made pasta, a rotisserie chicken that we make every day, maybe a smoked chicken to add a little Texas to it. Let's do it. Smoky chicken. So we're gonna make chicken noodle soup with a little Texas twist on it. So I bet you've never made chicken noodle soup before with fresh noodles. So you come over here, pick the pasta you want. I think we'll pick pappardelle. I don't have time to make chicken stock today. So I guess we gotta go get a good one. And I've got just the one on the shelf. Chicken stock. When you're making something like chicken noodle soup that's only got 4 or 5 ingredients, guess what's important? Making sure you handle those ingredients properly and you bring them all together. And that's what we're gonna show you how to do. I'm gonna get a little diced tomato. Yummy. And now we're gonna go get veggies, but Brussels sprouts, green beans, chop up some cabbage. You can do any of that kind of stuff. But today what we're gonna do is we're gonna stay pretty true to chicken noodle soup like we all know, except adding a little tomato. You might not do that, but hey, it's up to you. I'm showing you how I make it. So when you come to my house, you know what to expect. Another thing that's really cool about this store fresh is we'll cut the veggies for you. You got no waste. You don't have to worry about pulling out your cutting board. All you gotta do is grab whatever cut veggies you want and hit the pan. Boom! Look at that. It's already done. So we're gonna get celery, onion, a little garlic, and we'll get some carrots. We'll chop these up nice, ready to roll. We're at my house today, the Brady homestead, and I've got my little rascal here. What's your name?
Oliver.
Oliver what?
Oliver Nathan Brady.
Oliver Nathan Brady? Okay, we've got to do our secret handshake. You remember? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got my man Ollie here, and we're in the mood for chicken noodle soup. We're gonna make what? Yummy chicken noodle soup for your tummy?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the first thing we gotta do when we start cooking? No, before we cook, what do we have to do?
Wash your hands.
Okay, so what do? We get them wet first, and then we get some soap, scrub them up, and then maybe we, oh! Gotcha! Gotcha! So I've got a smoked chicken. But one thing that's really cool, trust me, it's all about saving $1. Yeah. If you have, right? Save $1.
Say that.
Okay. You got chicken left over and you ate a great fresh roasted chicken last night, and then you put it in the refrigerator and you've got a little chicken left over. Perfect meat for chicken noodle soup.
Where did you find those from that chicken?
Awesome question. We found this at Daddy's work. What's that store? Fresh?
Fresh Daddy Black.
Okay, so you take this, and you remember we're gonna shred it up. So you take a piece of the chicken, and you break it up. Do some small pieces, some big pieces. You'll notice too that this really helps if you've ever got any kids in the house that are picky eaters. If they own it and they take part of it, we've learned with our kids that they're way more likely to take a taste of it. And then once they taste it, what? Hey, who loves chicken?
Me.
Show me. Is that yummy? Grab a sprig like this. And then see, look, you put your fingers on here and you pull the leaves off. You got it? So, one thing that saves you a little time at home is I've got a separate pot that I'm gonna go ahead and heat the stock. Now look what I did here. This is a really good thing to remember when you're learning how to become a better cook. Every step you take in the kitchen should be developing flavor. So yes, I'm using a retail chicken stock, but I have those chicken bones from that chicken that I pulled that we're gonna use for the soup, so why not put those chicken bones in there? I always like getting my chicken stock hot, whether I have bones or not, so as we're cooking it speeds the process. But also too, when you have the chicken bones, you're just gonna permeate a little more flavor or infuse a little more flavor through the stock. We've got grapeseed oil. I use grapeseed oil for everything like this. It's got a high smoke point and it doesn't add any flavor to whatever you're cooking or your recipe. So just enough. And give it a little shake. Now we're gonna add our veggies that are already cut. So we've got our celery. Wow, that was an easy chopping of a veggie. We've got our carrots. And see, when you hear all that crackling, that should say flavor to you. Yummy flavor. Because we're sauteing, we're adding flavor. We're caramelizing the sugars in the veggies. And then yellow onion. We've got our mirepoix. With chicken noodle soup, the cut of the veggie is really important. Nice and small, so a lot of those little bites will fit on your spoon. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Ollie, how you doing over there? You good? Hey, I need you to do a little...
On you?
No, on this. So right there, just go bloop. Yeah! What are we doing? We're seasoning. So a little salt, a little pepper. I use these little thingamabobs. I grind my own pepper, so fresh ground pepper, and kosher salt. So you can see that the veggies are getting a little glossy. That's a good sign. That means the flavors are marrying together and that you're developing some good flavor. This is when I'll add the bay leaves, and then I'll come over here and I've got, dude, how cool is this? Already peeled garlic. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in kitchens when I first started cooking having to peel garlic. When you're from Louisiana, chefs like using a lot of garlic. So it's a treat. You can go to Fresh, get you a little container of peeled garlic, and all you gotta do is chop. Get close. Look at that. See all that flavor, all the glossiness and how the flavor's coming out? You see that, O? That's flavor, right? What is it? Tell our friends. Say it's flavor. Oh, yeah. So we're gonna set our strainer down. We've got our chicken stock. Put that down. You want to draw a picture of the soup? You can be the artist and I'll be the cook.
Daddy, I'm making chicken soup.
Great idea. Yeah, so you're gonna draw a picture of us making the chicken noodle soup? That's fun. I love it. What else do you need at home, guys? We're cooking, we're being a family. That's pretty special. So now we're just gonna let our flavors meld and come together. Ollie, you can go ahead and add your fresh thyme if you want, bud. Yes. So now we're gonna chop our fresh herbs. And it's important, cut your herbs last minute and add them last minute so you get all those great flavors to infuse. And for this, the chicken stock. So you want all the oils to come out of these leaves, and that's where that flavor comes from. And for chicken noodle soup, this is what's gonna remind you of home growing up. Yummy fresh pasta. This is a great little play on using our fresh pasta at Fresh in a different application that you may not think of. So traditionally, if you remember chicken noodle soup, you probably had like a spirelli cut or some kind of little spoon cut. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of our ribbon cuts and just cut them in small pieces. All right, so we've got our trimmed up noodles that we're gonna go ahead and add over here. So now it's the same thing with this fresh pasta. All you need to do is really let it cook for 3 minutes. But I'm gonna go ahead and add the chicken. All right, so we've got some great butter here. This is yummy grass-fed butter. At my house, you're gonna find the good grass-fed butter, just a really good quality butter because it tastes so good. And all we're doing to add, or the reason we're adding this is because it gives it a great richness on a brothy soup and it'll help tie the flavors together. Is that a lot of butter for this big batch? No, it's really not. Now, if you ate all this in one sitting, yeah, that might be a lot of butter. So we've got a good boil here. I'm gonna turn this down. We're gonna add, hey man, the last bit of fresh thyme, another pinch of salt, pinch of fresh cracked pepper. Now you can turn this really low and let this sit on the stove for a couple hours if you want. Make sure you put it low though, because eventually that stock will reduce and you won't be a happy camper when you get home. Look how pretty that is. We're gonna give it a taste. I always like tasting things through the process because you see the flavors and everything developing, but also,
It's yummy.
you want to try it?
No, thank you.
Yeah, you do. Come on, I'll blow one. I'll cool it off. I also always taste it before because I want to make sure it tastes good. Does it need a little salt? Does it need a little pepper? Does it need a little love, a little TLC? What kind of TLC does it need? Who knows? You got to make that decision. Brrr, yummy, 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 yummy. Try it. You love it.
Yummy.
It's yummy. Great job. All right, guys, we're ready to go. We've got a great meal, home-cooked meal, a classic staple, ready to put on the table. Now remember, after dinner, whatever's left over, divvy that out in your Tupperware containers, put it in the refrigerator, put a label on it. Tomorrow morning, put it in the freezer. And when soccer practice runs late next week, you've got you a great meal. All you need to remember to do, morning of that long day with late soccer practice, pull that container out, put it in the refrigerator, and then when y'all get home at night from the long soccer practice, put this on the stove, go get the kids bathed, and you've got a great home-cooked meal ready to go for the kids.